gonna head over to For the Culture, where we talk about things that are socially relevant to us, or pretty much anything we just want to talk about in general. Your boy. This is your boy, Elon Musk. Last week, I believe, while you were out vacationing,
Hmm.
Elon Musk bought the largest share possible. Well, not the largest share possible, but he is the largest shareholder of Twitter stock. In addition to him getting that largest share, here comes speculation of, will he be on the board? What type of influence will he have? And so, of course, the Twitter discourse over that week was just raging because in the midst of him, buying these shares, it was also controversy because he was like, he made a tweet of like, these are the top 10 accounts on Twitter. And they don't even tweet that often. Like, is Twitter going down or is Twitter going bad? And
Hmm.
people are like, so are you trying to drive the price down so you could buy more shares?
Hmm.
Or are you just being the egomaniac that you are and saying, I got, $3 billion laying around. So, hey, let me jump over into Twitter because he, along with the former guy, are avid, proponents against, you know, Twitter specifically because they say it blocks free speech. And I saw
Hmm.
of a lot of former guys, people talking about, yeah, Elon Musk is there. He's going to bring back free speech. First of all, free
Hmm.
speech never left. And you need to take a civics class because if you think that talking on Twitter is violating your civil rights as it relates to free speech, you're stupid.
Right.
There's that. So it was a lot of people talking about, this is the end of Twitter as we know it. I know I was one of those people and saying that if this guy gets on this board,
Hmm.
the havoc that he is going to wreak on Twitter is going to be insane. And again, this is a guy who is currently being sued in California for, treating Black employees, calling them the N-words, having nooses, having them do manual labor of, hand cleaning the floors, calling the workspace, the plantation where they work, having the temperature super cold, so it's very uncomfortable. This is the guy that you want to bring into your board when he has active, basically civil rights and not harassment, probably harassment in there too, but civil rights violations, anti-worker litigation against him. This is who you want up all in your business. This is this is who it is.
So my beef with all this is actually with Twitter. And the reason why I say that is because Twitter knows who Elon Musk is.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter knows Elon Musk's history as it relates to stoking fires via social media, specifically via Twitter, right? Having knowing all that without doing any sort of intensive background check, because word on the street was they did this deep investigative research and maybe found
Really?
something that people may not jive with if he were to actually join the board. Even without doing that, just looking through his tweets, they know that he can, out of the blue, say some inflammatory things, so much so that Tesla's board got on him for, hey, you need to
Oh,
chill
you just
out.
can't say that.
Right, right. Tesla and their own people was like, hey, man, ease up, right? So the fact that Twitter, the company that he put those messages on, was like,
Hmm.
this is a good idea. No, this is not a good idea.
Bring him on. Bring him on.
Right?
Yeah. And
So,
I
so
think, oh, go ahead.
and I was gonna say the fact that they thought about it and went forward with it for as long as they did before either Elon Musk backing out or Twitter deciding to remove him, which according to the CEO of Twitter, his name is um, Parag
Argwal.
Agrawal.
Argwal.
According to the message that they put that said that he wasn't joining the board. They say Elon Musk has
Decided.
decided not to join the board. Not after further review, we decided that Elon Musk wouldn't be the best bet or the best fit. They said Elon not decided not to join the board. And then they say we announced on Tuesday that Elon would be appointed to the board contingent on a background check and formal acceptance, right? Um, they say it was a good idea. Let me find that was the wrong quote. Let me find the quote where they say the board and I had many discussions about Elon joining the board, and with Elon directly, we were excited to collaborate and we're clear about the risks. Blah blah blah. And then they say when he decided he wasn't going to join the company, I believe this is for the best. Well, which one is it? Were you excited that he was going to join the board, or you believe him not joining the board was for the best? It's like,
This
I
statement is a word salad of contradictions.
right,
They it starts off with Elon has decided not to join the board. That was their way of giving Elon the way to save face because they knew after the uproar on Twitter, after the uproar from its Twitter's employees, there's no way on earth they could allow this man to be on the board. But of course, again, he's an egomaniac, so they have to, you know,
the
be
only
soft and all that type of thing to make him, feel like he's doing something.
the only way that I can conceive that Twitter thought this was a good idea is if they thought that by him buying that large amount of shares and then by him joining the board, he would be more concerned with the overall value of his shares.
Hmm.
So he wouldn't say inflammatory things.
Right. The very
That's the
next
only,
day, he went on there and started talking about, is this platform going down?
right, right. So that's the only conceivable thing that I can think. Twitter's like, yeah, we can rein him in if he's on the board. If he's on the board, we can be like, yo, chill out. But since he's not on the board, we can't really reach out. We can't touch him. But now he's on the board. Maybe we can actually influence him some shape, form, or fashion. That's the only logical explanation. Some other things that was running around rumors was um, Elon may be interested in buying Twitter. So this him stepping down as far as a board member makes paves the way for some sort of um, takeover,
Buyout?
hostile. I forget the actual terms for it, but there's some rumors that maybe it'd be a conflict to him being on the board, and then some sort of conflict by him being on the board now that would kind of dampen or limit his ability to have even more control later. This story mentions is the numbers, right? It says um, um, Elon would he has like I think he said 9.2%
9.2. Yeah.
of the company shares,
Hmm.
but if he joined the board, that's about as much as he could purchase.
He couldn't
Uh,
own more than 14.4% of the company.
right, right. So
14.9, I'm
maybe
sorry.
that suggests that by
He wants
Elon
more
Musk not
shares.
being on the board, he could possibly now own more than 14.9%.
.9.
Again, I don't
Mhm.
know if Twitter would let him do that, but
But could they stop him though? Because it's stock.
right,
It's
him not
traded.
being on the board, that's one less roadblock for him to own
Right.
more than 15% of the company.
Right. And let's be clear, even though he's not on the board, he still is a single largest shareholder. So he still wields significant influence over this company.
And he's still inflammatory, and
Yeah.
at any time he can roll out of bed and say something crazy on Twitter. So
And again, like we mentioned before with companies, they'll take as much you allow them to give. Same with this guy. The more they are willing to allow him to get, and the more they are allowing him to, just be himself, the more he's going to, feed into it. And now he has this title of the largest shareholder of Twitter, that just feeds even more into the ego. And he is going to continue to take and wield that influence with a wild sword because, again, as I mentioned before, he is an egomaniac. He has this big personality, this big ego. So, what better way for a person with this type of ego who has wild Twitter fingers to really just kind of flex his muscle to say, you know what, I can buy all this, or I have this influence, or I have that influence. It just leads to more. The more people, the rope that you're willing to give them is the rope they're willing to take.
Yeah, yeah. I still think that they like. Well, he'll be more concerned. He'll be easy on Twitter if the value, if he says something and the value of Twitter goes down, then he's a direct response for that. So by him owning all these shares, he'll be more cognizant of what he says, and so his value or his worth in this company um, won't go down. I don't think they know Elon Musk that well.
I mean, he's already the richest man in the world. He has net
Right.
worth of what, 260, $250 billion. So yeah, the stock goes down, I mean, I don't think he has that much money. I don't think he's really too much worried about stock prices too
I don't
much.
understand why they even considered him in the first place. I'm trying to make excuses as to why they thought this was a good idea, but I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's that type of character. There's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah, and he has these fanboys that
Want to be
breathe
him so
on
bad.
his every word. I mean, they're just hanging
They
on
want to
for
be
dear
this
life.
dude so bad. I think that's the American dream. And not to get too sidetracked. Um, I think it's the American dream for people to be so rich that they can do whatever they want to do. Not
F you
just
money.
not just being it's not the American dream to be rich or wealthy. It's the American dream to be so rich and so wealthy that I can do whatever
Whatever
I
you want.
want. And
I
when
can
they
squash you
see
like a little bug.
Right. And when they see Elon Musk saying crazy things on Twitter, when they see your boy Amazon CEO going to almost
Bezos.
space, Bezos going to almost space, with all this money, I think people live vicariously through these cats.
And
So
they
when
have that thought that one day that could be me.
one
No,
day
it's
that could
not.
be me. So
It's not going to be you.
how dare you talk bad about this person
That I
because
could be one day.
I could be that I one day once I hit this lottery or come up with this genius idea to patent,
Yeah.
I'll be there one day, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
Couldn't be further from the truth. And the other thing about these Twitter shenanigans, he's already been sued by a Twitter investor over the way that the stock which was purchased from Jump. So
Mhm.
there's some shrouded in mystery. It appears backhanded. Let me slide in and purchase more than I'm allowed to at a single time. All these other things. So now a Twitter investor. I'm not sure if they said his name or
Mark
not. Yeah,
Mark
Mark
Rosella.
Waselis. He filed a lawsuit in federal court on Tuesday, alleging that Elon failed to disclose his purchase of the 9.2% quickly enough, and it caused this guy to lose money. So I think, where I think this lawsuit will go wrong, he's coming at it from the wrong angle.
Right.
He's mad that he sold shares while this purchase was happening, because after Elon Musk made this purchase and became public, the stock prices shot up. So
Right.
he's mad that he didn't know because he lost money because he sold too soon. This isn't
Yep.
going to go anywhere, I don't
But
think.
but again, the fact that Twitter's stock price rose 27% after it was announced that Elon Musk bought 9.2% of Twitter stock. I'm assuming Twitter, that's why they want him around, because this dude, good or bad, is the press always follows this guy around.
Yeah.
So, maybe they figure, okay, we put this guy on the board, that'll keep our stock price going up because obviously this guy can do no wrong.
Right. So the rule where he may have some leverage, the SEC rule states, we're reading this article from Gizmodo, that large purchases of stock must be reported to the regulatory agency through the filing of a Schedule 13 after anyone acquires more than 5% of a company. Elon Musk didn't file the document until April 4th, a full 10 days after he reached that 5% threshold. So it seems like there is some date and percentage like minutia that is that made this guy think that he may have a leg to stand on. But again, the issue that he has is that he didn't know that this
He
was
lost
happening
money.
before he sold it. Had he known this, he wouldn't have sold, you know, the stock that some of the stock that he had. So he's mad because he lost money because he sold too soon.
Hmm. So,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Good luck to you, but hopefully, some other people, can benefit, or at the very least, like I said, we start to pay more attention, good or bad, to
right.
Elon Musk again. I would rather just him shut up somewhere and just go do business, but that's
Or
not the
just
world we
go
live in
spend all
right
your
now.
money. Just go chill. I mean,
So
you
that
never have
that's
to worry about. Just go relax.
That's not the
Relax.
world we live in now. The
I
world
know.
we
I
live in
know.
now is, I need to get this out that I'm doing this. Whatever it is, whatever it is. I mean, people will put the craziest things on the internet just so it gets attention, because
Yeah.
good or bad, we're talking about it. Because we're talking about it. We're on the show talking about it right now. Instead of saying, man, that dude is a
We're
clown,
not
we
going
don't
to
want to
give
talk
him any
about him.
attention.
We're
He
talking
has enough
about it.
already. We're talking about it. Exactly. That is very true. With that, let's wrap up for the culture.